Can we have the introduction?
Hello, I'm 25 years old and I've been in Bosnia for some long time, over a year. So, ask.
Because I know that you are from Tunisia, can you tell us what kind of life that you have in Tunisia?
Well, the life in Tunisia have been changed after the revolution in 2011, and it's like an economy problem for almost everybody in Tunisia. There is no middle class anymore, and really the life is getting hard, like for the local people, you know, and it's not the same anymore. Like before it was fine, and like Tunisian people used to live nicely, you know, and we didn't have that mass number leaving the country. And right now I guess like all the North African countries are leaving, and let's say that the biggest reason is like something personal with another country. It's like the colonization, you know, it's causing some stuff, and you don't feel safe anymore back home. The people there, they did some statistics about the Tunisians, and more than 70% are willing to leave the country if they have a chance. More than 70% of the people want to leave, to go somewhere else, to start new life. And this 15 years ago it wasn't like that. You have like in the law that you have freedom to speak, but there's like red lines that you couldn't cross, you know. And we know some people that crossed those lines and they got murdered at their homes. It's let's say it's like you have a cup and drop by drop you get it full, you know. Like many reasons together push you to leave the country. It is a decision that you take, like you will leave home behind. And it's not like any time that you can go back home. So you know that you will take years and years before coming back. And especially like if you look, for example, like just an example for Tunisia. Tunisia is a beautiful country. We have like a big coastline, summertime is very nice, you have friends, your life started there, like everybody you know is there. So it's like you just skip your life, close it, and go start like a new life. And it is like not totally safe, you know that there's risks of might dying in the way, of losing everything, of getting like any danger, you know. I know many people that got their legs cut or died, drowned, like they had a lot to lose, you know. Some people have like back home a member of family dies or gets sick and they cannot go back. Like they cannot do that. It's restrictions and it's really not easy. And much people here, they don't understand. They think that you're like coming for fun. It's not fun. Like you come here to start a new life. It's like a life project, you know. It's really a big adventure, and especially that you don't know anything about this way. Like not much people know about the Balkan. What's going on? How is it? What's the language? Or how local people think, not think. Like nobody knows anything. You just go and you have a country, cross borders, and find new people, new culture.
Can you tell us, have you noticed any differences between our culture and your culture?
There is not much of that difference, you know. We have much similarities between both countries, and you know about Tunisia, like it's quite different from the rest of the world. It's more with European culture, I guess. So you don't see much of difference.
On your journey to here, were the people that you have encountered, like, were they helpful, were they kind, or did they judge you?
It depends on the person that you meet. Like there is the good people everywhere and the bad people everywhere also. And you can face racism like anywhere, let's say. It exists.
How would you describe your stay in Bosnia?
Well, in Bosnia, I guess my stay was different from others because I got a lot of help. Like, people helped me much, really much. And I don't see that with others because I'm like lucky, let's say. So I cannot take my example as something general about people crossing in Bosnia or the Balkan. Like, as I told you, like much other people are really suffering, like it's too much. And personally, I told you it's different, maybe because of my looks are different and they always like think I'm from the local people until you say that you're not. And where are you from, then you can see the different look. Once I was going in a bus, paid my ticket, and just like going to my chair. And there was like that empty chair. And when I got there, like there been a woman, and it was the only like empty spot in the bus. And she puts her bag there, like, and just moves her head, like, you're not gonna sit near me.
I heard a lot of stories about immigrants fighting between each other. There's almost like monthly news about stabbings happening. Is there a
Let's
reason for
say, let's like, if we look at it as psychological stuff, in, let's say, concentration camps in Europe, like long ago, those things happen when people are suffering. They turn on each other. It's like in prison or something. Like when you don't find the basics of life, essentials, troubles are gonna happen, and that's like something psychological, you know. It's like the wildlife, like way of survival, you know.
This is perhaps a bit of a political question, but I heard a lot of, let's say, semi-proven news that countries like Serbia and Croatia are actively blocking the way from Bosnia to Herzegovina to the rest of Europe. Do you know something about that?
Well, I know something about that. Maybe like if you see somebody illegally passing, you cannot like prove that, or you might say, okay, they are afraid and they can stop the borders. But Serbia, for some reason, like Tunisians have access to Serbia without visa. So they can come and go like anytime they want. Normally, that's in the law. Like you have 3 months access to be on the land of that country as a tourist. But when planes come with Tunisians to Serbia, you face too much hate and racism, and you be pushed back in the airport while you are legally there. You don't even get a stamp on your passport as you came. Like they will just lock you 2 days in some prison cell, then they force you to go back in a plane and you go back to the country where you came from. And with Croatia, like, you can see pushbacks every day, hundreds of people being pushed back in blood, broken hands, and much physical damage. But the local police of like Croatia is denying that they are doing any of that, and they are accusing people of doing that to each other. Do you really think like hundreds every day just beat each other to prove for 3 years that the local, like the Croatian police is beating them or something?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Which plans do you have? I assume you plan on leaving Bosnia and Herzegovina. Where do you plan on leaving? What is your final destination?
Well, let's say that like we tried to leave and it was quite hard to leave, and right now I'm still like trying with the government to give the rights that exist in the law actually, and the government here, it's not allowing people to have access to that. Like normally in the law of Bosnia and Herzegovina, when you apply to asylum, you will be guaranteed the studying of your case, you know, but that's not even happening for anybody as I know. It's like rare cases where they get access to asylum, and much people are just refused, and they be asked like some questions since the day they arrive, and you see that it's obvious that you have to leave, you know. But I'm still trying personally.
Did you expect things to be this way when you left your country to seek refugee in Europe? What were your expectations? What did you think would happen?
I had some idea, but when you experience it, you find it different, you know. The land of reality. Like when you come, you see it differently, especially when you meet people and then you hear that friend died, for example, or he got frozen trying or something, or drowned, or then you kind of feel it differently. Like you see the reality is harsh.
What do you miss from home?
Well, as I said, like firstly, you would miss family because they are the most precious people in your life and in everybody's life. And friends, I miss the summertime. Here, like in winter, it's really cold. So like you kind of also miss the weather, you know. It doesn't like get too cold back home. And in summer, you have a lot of places to go to, you know. So yeah, I miss summertime, especially back home.
What will your perfect day look like? Like anything that you want and you could have it in that day.
Well, my perfect day would be, I don't know, like go to the beach, have fun, come back home, do something, I don't know, art, practice something you like. It's like when your head is free, you know, you're not thinking much.
Do you think that things will change in Tunisia, or do you expect to not go back to your country?
I would expect that I go back to my country just as a visit, not permanently. And I don't guess that any change will happen like soon, because the roots of colonization has damaged like too much, and it needs time also to build up again and to delete that. And it's still like going down, so we still didn't even start to go up.
What are your goals for the future? What do you expect? Which things do you expect to change?
I cannot be detailed on my life, like how it's gonna be, but I do have goals, like, and hopefully it's gonna come true.
Can you tell us some of those goals?
Well, to make a family, one of them, and secure for them like a good life and safety.
And what would you like to change?
Change.
Like about the world, about
Well, about the world, I would say that we are all humans, you know. We are all the same species, so that why not to live in peace? But that's hard to accomplish. We are still not evolved enough, I guess.